Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's IFM back again with more Smogon World Cup of Pokemon action. Unfortunately, my partner in crime, Case Victory, who was supposed to help me narrate this video, decided he wanted to hurt his back at the gym. He's probably doing some heavy-ass deadlifts and just pulled something, but we wish him the best. Hope the body bag Bonjarain joins me tomorrow for our next game. But, unfortunately, without him, we're going to have to jump into this match. It's Cronenberg versus Tesung. And Cronenberg is representing Team Italy, Tesung for Team USA West. And Cronenberg's bringing, your standard XY, offensive team with a little bit of a backbone. He's got a Jirachi, he's got a Charizard, he's got his Clefable, his Landorus T, a Latios, and a Keldeo. And Tesung bringing it up for the other team. He's got a Manectric, most likely Mega, a Draglag, a Landorus T of his own, and in my opinion, the most broken Pokemon in OU right now, Manaphy, unless you're Team Mexico, of course. And an Azumarill, and rounding off the team is a Metagross. I mean, obviously that could be Mega as well, but, seeing that Manectric out there, I'm really thinking that's going to be the Mega slot. So, let's, without further ado, jump straight into the action with both players leading their Landorus Therians. So, as you can see, they both get the Intimidate off, so they're not going to be doing a huge amount of damage. And if either of them's not Scarf, they're probably just going to go for the Stealth Rocks up here, because that's just an amazing move to get up early. Just get that chip damage as much as you can. As you can see, Cronenberg goes for that really fast U-turn, most likely signaling that he is, in fact, going to be a Scarf Landorus. And Tesung, like I said, just takes the opportunity to get the rocks up. We see the leftovers recovery, so definitely no kind of shenanigans there. We know his moveset. And it's going to be countered, though, pretty hard by that Keldeo. And Tesung does have the perfect counter, though, and that Draglag not going to take anything from either of Keldeo's stabs, and is able to just take the Scald like a champ. Only going to take 20% damage, up to 87 after those leftovers recoveries, and now Cronenberg's just going to have to switch something into the Adaptability Draco Meteor, which is going to do a fuck ton to this Jirachi, man. It takes it down to 53% health. We don't see the leftovers recovery, so this is definitely some kind of offensive set. And that Draglag just starting things off strong for Tesung, doing a massive amount of damage, as Cronenberg's just, going to go for a couple Iron Heads here, try to get some flinches off and get the game a little bit back under control. Hits the Metagross, though, that's not going to do much damage. You can see no leftovers on it as well, and he's going to get his crit a second time around. So Metagross is already down to 69%, which is pretty key, because you really want to save this Metagross to be able to check that something like that Latios. It's most likely something like an Assault Vest. So if you can get as much damage on that Metagross as possible, it's going to be doing a lot of work for Cronenberg. And Tesung finally decides, I've had enough with this bullshit flinches. We're just going to switch out. We're going to send in our Landorus, and we're going to get that Intimidate up on that Jirachi. So now that Jirachi's sitting, with that minus attack, and if it's Scarf, it's definitely switching out here. But he's got the moves, my friends. And he goes for the Icy Wind and bops that Landorus Therian. And now he's taking a quick 1-0 advantage on the game, plus taking a huge chunk out of that Metagross. But the only thing he really has to show for it on his own side is the damage on Jirachi. But Manectric's going to come in, going to Mega Evolve, going to get another Intimidate off on that Jirachi, and just hit it with a Volt Switch and send out his Metagross once again. And now Jirachi's going to go for the Hidden Power here, predicting the Volt Switch. I mean, if he'd stayed in, he would have taken some massive damage from a Flamethrower or an Overheat from that Manectric, so it's a pretty bold play by him, but it definitely pays off. And the Hidden Power Fire... Wait, no! Not Hidden Power. Fire, Hidden Power Ground's going to bop the Manectric once again. Probably thinking that was a Hidden Power Fire, as it's a little bit more common, but I definitely can see the Hidden Power Ground on Cronenberg's team, as he is running that Charizard, and it's going to do massive damage if he's able to take out the Heatran on an opponent. Obviously, Tesung doesn't have it here, but second time around, going to go for the safe Flamethrower, going to kill that Jirachi, and then Cronenberg's going to take the time to get a Clefable in. As you can see, it's unaware, it doesn't take Stealth Rock damage, so definitely some kind of defensive set, most likely not going to be a Calm Mind Clefable, as that's not really common in conjuncture with that unaware, and he's just going to hit the Draglag with a Moonblast. And now Clefable, since he got that special attack drop, he feels pretty safe staying in. He's going to go for the Stealth Rocks, get his own hazards up. But the Adaptability Draglag, it doesn't give a fuck. It still just knocks him the fuck out with that Sludge Bomb. And now Tesung has kind of swung the game back around in his favor. Once again, he's got a Pokemon lead, and he's got this Draglag, which Cronenberg's going to have a little bit of difficulty breaking through. But here comes the Latios. Like I said, that Metagross is just way too weak and to be able to check it at all. The Side Shock, though, it's really only going to do 10.6% of its health. Might even be a roll here to kill second time around. So, but Tesung doesn't really want to risk that. Just going to go for the Bullet Punch and going to get some pretty big damage off on the Latios as he reveals the Thunderbolt to check something like a Manaphy better, or be able to hit the Azumarill for some super effective damage. So now Mega Manectric is going to read that. It's going to switch in, take a little bit of hazard damage, but it's got the advantage over the Latios and is able to really take it out with the Hidden Power Ice. And now Cronenberg, his only real option here is to go to Landorus, because everything else is just going to get fucked by that Manectric. But as you see, instead he decides to go for the Charizard switch in, and that works pretty well because it is the Charizard X, so it's not going to be taking a whole lot of damage from anything on Tesung's team. And he's got an opportunity now just to roost up, get some of that health back, but unfortunately the Azumarill is going to be a pretty hard counter to that Charizard, as Charizard really does not have anything to break through the Azumarill, probably why he was running Thunderbolt, so he could try to get, a surprise hit off on it. So the Flare Blitz does go for a critical there, and it's going to take Azumarill down to 30% health, but the Play Rough's going to take Charizard down to 2, and no matter what, next time it switches in, it's going to die to the Stealth Rocks, as he predicts the Aqua Jet here, and sends in the Keldeo. And now Keldeo is just, able to tank one more Aqua Jet from that Azumarill, and, just hit it with a Hidden Power Electric most likely there. But unfortunately that means if he's a choice set, he's now locked into Hidden Power Electric, which is one of the worst moves to be locked in against a Draglag and a Manectric. So he's now just going to have to switch that Keldeo out and get that sacrifice off on that Charizard, so he's able to get his Landorus in without taking any damage. As you see, the Draglag predict that switch out and go for the Toxic Spike. So now he's going to be able to poison Keldeo whenever it comes in and get a lot of chip damage off on it if you combine the poison damage with the Stealth Rocks every time that Cronenberg is going to want to switch around. So now Cronenberg, though, he's got a bit of an advantage, and he's able to send out that the Landorus and just fire off an Earthquake into the Manectric and take it down and even this matchup 2-2. And I'm going to pause it right here after this Manectric dies and once Pokemon gets set in, because we got a pretty important play here that I just want to drop some knowledge bombs on you about. So we see the Manaphy come in, and we got a couple options here. This Landorus Therian, it could go for an Earthquake predicting the Draglag switch in, or he could switch into the Keldeo, and Tesung could do the same. If he's thinking Keldeo is going to come in, a switch to Draglag is pretty much 100% victory, because Cronenberg is really, not going to be able to threaten that Draglag with anything. So Tesung's probably definitely got the advantage, though, because Manaphy is just so ridiculous. But it's really going to come down to a 50-50 here, with both of them really having to mull over their options. But we're not going to leave you guys in suspense any longer. This match has already been played, and we're about to find out how it plays out. And Cronenberg, he's going to read that it's really time to switch here and just get the Keldeo in on that Manaphy so it can threaten it a little bit. And Tesung's going to go for the Tail Glow. And that was a huge move there because, right now this Keldeo is able to threaten this Manaphy a little bit, but if you play the switch game around and you get the Draglag in on that Keldeo, like I was saying, it's still going to be just doing massive damage. So Cronenberg is going to predict that. But he's wrong. We're breaking out the substitute Manaphy here, Tesung with the innovations, and it turns out that most likely it didn't matter what Tesung did. All he needed to do was throw up that substitute against the Keldeo, because then he would get, a little bit of toxic damage, and he'd activate the Salic Berry he's holding in the back, because you're always going to be running, you see no leftovers with a substitute, then it's most likely going to be the Salic Berry, so you can get those sweeps off. So now Cronenberg's going to just go to his Keldeo after the U-turn takes down the substitute, and just start firing out some Hidden Power Electrics, but it's not going to do a whole lot. As you see the Salic Berry activate, and it's time for Manaphy to take the game, because it's going to be able to deal with a 29% Keldeo easily, especially behind a sub. Just hit in the face with a Scald. Ridiculous move. And then, just take out that Landorus as well, because no way in hell it's taking a Scald at 64% from a +3 tail glowed up Manaphy. And Tesung's able to get the victory, get the W in for USA West. They move up to 3-2 in the standings. But Italy's putting a really strong showing this tournament, a lot better than everyone expected. And they're still sitting pretty at 7-7, and definitely have a shot to make the knockout rounds depending on how the tiebreakers go. They finished most of their matches up. Everyone else has really been John's, especially my Team USA East. Rest in peace there with our games. But yeah, that was just a really solid match down to the end, and it just came down to just a great play by Tesung and just having the right Manaphy set for the situation, able to take the victory over Cronenberg and move his team into a pretty good spot with an over 500 record early on in the tournament. Once again, this has been IFM representing IFMstudios. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment if you'd really like to see some more content like this, as we're going to be breaking out World Cup of Pokemon matches every single day for the duration of the tournament, just bringing you the top that competitive Pokemon has to offer. IFM out.